Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoded, the place where we crack the code on corporate filings and find the real story behind the numbers. Today we're diving into a report that tells us about a pretty significant leadership shuffle at Imunon Incorporated. Get ready because this isn't just about who is in and who is out. Before we dive in, if you think understanding these corporate moves is important, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're here to decode the complex for you. And hey, if you want to connect with other viewers and share your insights, join our Discord community, linked in the description below. It is where the real corporate chatter happens. Alright, let's get straight to it. Imunon Incorporated is filing a Form 8K, which is basically a report for really important events that shareholders need to know about right away. This one's all about changes in their top financial jobs. The company Imunon Inc. is letting us know about a change in their chief financial officer. You know, the person in charge of all the money stuff. And just for context, Imunon's main thing they trade on the stock market is their common stock under the ticker symbol IM on the Nasdaq Capital Market. The main point of this filing is under item 5.02, which covers departures and appointments of key officers. Basically who is leaving and who is taking their place. So here is the news. On the 7th of January 2026, Imunon announced that Kimberly Graper, their interim chief financial officer, is stepping down. She is leaving her role on the 14th of January 2026. The company says she is leaving to pursue another good career opportunity and that there are no disagreements. They also emphasize that her notice gives them enough time to make sure the transition is smooth. The CEO Stacey Lindborg thanked Kimberly for her contributions over the past 3 years, and especially in her recent interim role, wishing her the very best. It sounds like a friendly parting of ways. Now, for the big news on who's stepping into this important role, because Miss Graper is leaving the company, has appointed Mr. Jeffrey Church to be their new interim chief financial officer starting on the 14th of January 2026. This means Mr. Church will not only be the interim CFO, but also the main person responsible for the company's finances and accounting. He is not new to Imunon or to this role. He was their Executive Vice President Chief Financial Officer and Corporate Secretary before and has been working with them as a consultant since retiring in May 2024. Let's look at Mr. Church's background because it is quite extensive. He joined Imunon back in July 2010. He has held various senior financial positions within the company over the years, including Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, Corporate Secretary, Senior Vice President, and Executive Vice President. He retired from his full-time roles as Executive Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Corporate Secretary effective the 1st of June 2024, but continued to consult. Before Imunon, Mr. Church was the Chief Financial Officer and Corporate Secretary at Alba Therapeutics Corporation, a privately held life science company from 2007 to 2010. Before that, from 2006 to 2007, he was Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Corporate Secretary for Novavax Incorporated. You probably know Novavax NVAX, a vaccine development company. He also spent a good chunk of time from 1998 to 2006 as Vice President, CFO, and Corporate Secretary for Genvec, Incorporated, a biotechnology company. And he held senior financial roles at other formerly publicly traded companies, including Biospherics Corporation and Meridian Medical Technologies. His career started at Pricewaterhouse, where he worked from 1979 to 1986. He actually earned a degree in accounting from the University of Maryland. With this kind of background, he's clearly got a lot of experience. Now let's talk about the money side of this appointment. On May 17, 2024, Imunon and Mr. Church had a retirement and consulting agreement. This basically changed his previous employment agreement, and he agreed to provide consulting services until the 31st of December 2024 with an option to extend. This agreement was amended effective the 14th of January 2026. Under this amendment, Imunon will pay Mr. Church a monthly retainer of $30,000. On top of that, he'll get an extra $250 for every hour he works beyond 40 hours in a month. This extended consulting period can be ended with just 10 business days notice. This description is just a summary, and the full agreement is filed as an exhibit to this report. The filing also notes that Mr. Church's selection for these important financial roles was not based on any special deals or understandings with anyone else. He doesn't have any family ties to current directors or executive officers, and he doesn't have any direct or indirect interest in any transactions that need to be disclosed. This is standard disclosure to ensure there are no conflicts of interest. Finally, we have item 9.01, which lists the exhibits filed with the report. The key exhibit here is exhibit 10.1, which is the retirement and consulting agreement dated May 17, 2024 between Imunon Incorporated and Jeffrey Church. This agreement is referenced as it was previously filed with the SEC on May 2024, and the report is signed by Susan Alwood, General Counsel and Corporate Secretary on behalf of Imunon, Incorporated on the 7th of January 2026. So what is the story here? On the surface, it is a simple leadership change, a departing interim CFO and a returning experienced executive stepping in. But let's dig a little deeper. Kimberly Graper's departure seems amicable and is for a better opportunity. That is common and usually not a red flag. The real story is the return of Jeffrey Church. He is a veteran with a long history at Imunon and in the wider pharmaceutical and biotech industry. His appointment as interim CFO and principal financial and accounting officer suggests the company wants seasoned leadership in place to navigate whatever financial challenges or opportunities lie ahead. The consulting agreement with a monthly retainer and hourly bonus structure is pretty standard for bringing back experienced talent on a flexible basis. $30,000 a month plus overtime pay for an interim role is a significant commitment, but given Mr. Church's extensive background and the critical nature of financial oversight, it is likely seen as an investment in stability. His prior experience at companies like Novavix and Genbec shows he can handle the financial complexities of publicly traded biotech firms. The fact that he was already consulting implies he has a good understanding of the company's current situation, so the transition should be quicker than bringing in someone completely new. This move signals a desire for continuity and deep financial expertise. It is not necessarily a sign of immediate crisis, but rather a proactive step to ensure strong financial management. For investors, this should be seen as a positive sign that the company is prioritizing experienced leadership during this transition period. So looking at Imunon Incorporated through this filing, it appears they are prioritizing stability and experience in their financial leadership. Mr. Church's deep history with the company and his extensive background in the biotech sector suggest a commitment to solid financial governance. While Ms. Graper's departure is noted as amicable, the return of a seasoned executive like Mr. Church to an interim top financial role often indicates a need for immediate expertise and a steady hand. The terms of his consulting agreement are substantial but reflect the value of his experience. We will be watching to see how this leadership change impacts the company's financial reporting and strategic direction in the coming quarters. Alright, that is our breakdown of Imunon Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on this CFO transition and what does it signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, hit that like button, it really helps us out. And of course, subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.